grind in at the location itself. First time Pro Tour's gone to Puerto Rico, actually. San Juan will be a first. They've been repeating some places lately. San Diego, is a place people love to go, but San Juan's a new one. So I know a lot of people are pretty excited about that. It looks beautiful. The pictures look good.
You guys want to get an interview with Adrian Sullivan, the loser of the feature match?
Yeah, we can. We let Adrian tag in for a minute, maybe talk about his deck choice, things like that.
Okay, I'll move over for a bit. So, Adrian, do you want to go talk about your deck a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah, you want to tag in?
Here?
Where should I go?
Pop squat.
I'm just gonna go ban some people. I'm gonna go ban some people.
I'm gonna go ban some people.
He can ban people from everywhere.
Nice little drawing there.
It is a face.
Hope that's not a drawing of me.
But we want to thank Adrian here for joining us here in the booth. So, the first game, Mold of 5. We're very happy with that.
Magic.
Is there anything you want to share with the viewers? Any little tidbits, any secrets in your deck that are hiding? We saw you want to burn some lands. I was pretty excited.
Which land are you talking about?
Well, you could burn all the lands. You could burn all their lands, and they continue to burn.
Well, that's a sideboard card, but the real thing is everyone's been seeing the mono red deck that started out a long time ago with usually 2 quenchable fire, 3 earthquake, and then 4s.
Yeah, the deck going back, they call it was almost the barely Boros deck.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even necessarily even with the white at all, but just 4 Goblin Guide, 4 Hellspark, blah 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 blah, and then of course you've got the one with black where it's the same deck except for instead of running Plated Geopede, it runs 4 Blightnings, and then it runs some black lands. Well, I hate 2-color red-black like that. I mean, you can get those 8 black lands for your Blightnings, and you have access to Terminate and all of that. But I mean, if you look at the way the metagame plays out, no one's running 4 Firewalkers that's winning.
It's true. Even these blue-white tap-out decks that have them, they're not matching up well against a lot of the field now as it stands. And it's not a card. It's a good card in a vacuum. It just doesn't have a home yet.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at all of the lists that were winning, and your odds of playing against a core Firewalker in main or board, doesn't matter which, is something like 2%, period.
Wow.
2%, let me restate that. 2% chance of playing against them and having them have access to it. Out of a
That's
whole
even
bunch
lower
of
than I would have assumed even higher than
if they're winning, they don't have it in their board. That's just what it boils down to. And I went through a whole bunch of lists, and so I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Screw Deathmark. Screw black. And with going with 1 color, the real thing that happened that made things really turn over for me was testing with Ronnie Serio from Chicago. And Chicago has a really long history with burn decks.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to update the list a little bit, and we came upon Smoldering Spires.
The Falter land from World Wake. Yeah,
the little Falter land. And my red deck is running 26 lands. And it's basically...
We couldn't tell game 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, he named Pithing Needle with the Arid Mesa, and I had 2 in my hand for opening hand.
We saw there at the end, we were like, man, he just ran the 50-50, hit the Arid Mesa.
That happens.
Scalding Tarns.
That happens.
Absolutely.
But, the thing about Scalding Tarns is, not Scalding Tarns, Smoldering Spire, it's a lava axe. Most of the times that I've cast it, it's been lay this land, take 5.
Yeah, they're for free. They can't complain about that.
And so, that's all I basically am playing. Mono red with 8 comes into play tap lands that are awesome. And I'm really happy with it. I played against guys with Baneslayers earlier, and he was like, lay Baneslayer. So I was like, cool, kill you. That was cool of you.
What you're saying, because they love if we don't tap the table at home. We don't hear it. It's like a thunder. It's like a hell's thunder right in their ear.
Okay. I'll be good.
But for those that know, even those that don't know you, you've always been championing red for as long as most people can remember. Always been an advocate of red decks. Even 2 seasons ago with the Blast Miners and Extended. You've always just been a big advocate of red. Is there any reason why you've stuck with it now? I know you said you're not afraid of Firewalker, but what about red specifically? Why did you choose it? Are you confident with your Jund matchup?
The Jund matchup is really easy.
Because some people will say how it's, mono red can beat Jund, but they still think that Jund has an edge in the long run. And we've seen, going back to some of the events earlier in the season, red would put up good numbers, but as the decks have evolved, it's not always the case. So I want to get your input.
Well, basically the way it boils down to is it really depends on the skills of the players. With a good red player, if he's playing against a Jund player of equal skill, he's got a big edge.
Okay.
A bad red player playing against a bad Jund player of equal skill, the Jund player has a bigger edge. And the big reason is the key to the match has little to do with Jund. The only thing Jund can do is have the early burn and get like a little lucky.
Like natural lightning bolts.
Right. Because if the red player plays aggressively for its Goblin Guides and play the Geopedes, it's going to win the match. I mean, like, it just does so much damage. The quenchable fires are just really problematic, and it's one of those things where I've played a lot against a lot of people, and the people that are playing red, usually it's not Jund that they're worried about, it's other decks. Like, I mean, I don't like vampires as a deck, but you really don't want to play against vampires.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter that I don't think it's a good deck. I might play against it, and if I'm playing 8 rounds, you know.
And it's not terribly expensive, and I think it definitely has like a fan base of its own.
Yeah, and you know, then there are a lot of other matchups like various decks with Rock's Warmunk. That's just miserable.
Yeah.
You know, like
We saw even the Leatherback Bailoff, you instantly just like burst lightning bolt. Like you just gotta get it off the table.
Yeah, and you know, like these things, they're out there. Like this green deck actually is a pretty good matchup, unless they have a Pithing Needle on, you know, my stuff.
Your opening hand, basically.
But you know, the thing is that you know this is Magic. He gets to draw his sideboard cards too.
Yeah, we saw you brought in the Pithing Needles and the Fogs was what he brought in against you. We saw you do the old 15 in, 15 out. You want to give the viewers at home? Do you want to tell them what you actually brought in for the matchup? Some of them were curious.
Well, I actually brought in 13 cards.
Really? Wow. Well, we saw you bring in 15, take them out. We don't know how many actually switched.
Really bringing in this many.
Well, you know, if you are boarding in 13, it's good to do the 15 in, 15 out, because then it doesn't look like you're bringing in anything.
Right. You're not tipping your hand, and you might be able to counter or affect their sideboarding decisions.
Exactly. Which actually might have been a mistake in this case, because he literally brought in Acidic Slime, which was a real deal, and he brought it in because he thought I brought in stuff that he needed to kill. Which, to be fair, he did. He needed to kill Cunning, the Basilisk Collar.
Right.
So the cards I brought in were Obsidian Fireheart, because it's a big monster, and he's going to have big monsters, but mine can be bigger than his. I brought in Siege Gang Commanders, Cunning Spark Mages, and Basilisk Collar.
And we saw you had the fetch lands utilized with Searing Blades on their turn. Do you have play the Geopedes or no?
I do have Geopedes.
Okay, 'cause I don't think we saw any in your hand at all.
Geopede and Searing Blades.
Okay, very good. But anything, I don't know your stats. I'm not in the loop. Are you playing tomorrow on the PTQ?
Yes.
Do you have anything brewed up special that you want to share, or is it a secret?
It's not even a secret. It's and this is less because of testing than because of laziness. I'm in grad school right now, so I don't have time to get to the game that I want to. And so I'm playing Goblin Guides in Extended too.
Right on.
I'm not.
I can support that.
I'm not advocating Goblin Guides in Extended, but I view my chances of winning the tournament tomorrow as not high. But one of the best ways I'm gonna be able to do it is play Goblin Guide.
That's something you're comfortable with, something you know in and out, something you've played for a long enough time.
Yeah, I mean my extended play testing is pretty small, but I've played with Goblin Guides so much that like I at least know what to do. You know, like Extended's a pretty complicated format. I'm not going to be going Dark Depths on Dark Depths, you know, DDT.
Right.
Because I'll be able to beat a lot of the guys in this room, but the people that have really put in the work, they'll beat me. I'm like studying right now, and I'm like working on school, and I've got to do what I've got to do. So if you're playing
like Sam or Severa or someone later, you're just going to...
I mean, there are going to be people in this room that are trying to PTQ, and these days PTQs, they're hard. I mean...
Magic Online has really brought up the curve.
Yeah, the skill level these days is much more like incredible for 2 reasons. Well, not even. Pardon me. The difficulty is hard for 2 reasons. 1, the skill level, and 2, the hive mind. It used to be people wouldn't have a good deck. Everybody has a good deck these days, for the most part.
Yeah, information's everywhere.
Yeah, everyone that wants to have a good deck will have one.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, you can look up results almost instantly between all the bloggers out there, all the actual websites, including some of our sponsors. Just everything's out there.
Your sponsors, like who?
Well, this event's brought to you by Pastimes.
Oh, really?
And in conjunction with one of your friends, Steve Port, Legion Events and Professional Events.
Oh, Alan Hoffman, he's a friend too.
Yeah, bringing you the Midwest Master Series, and we're being joined right now from Adrian Sullivan. Unfortunately, joining us after a round 3 defeat here in Chicago, but. He's playing a red deck, and I think we'll be seeing him later. I have a feeling.
I hope so. I think that I feel really strong about my deck, and I basically feel like if he hadn't won the coin flip, choosing Pithing Needle on Arid Mesa
instead of
Scalding Tarn,
right?
I think I would have destroyed him. But
absolutely, yeah. Your hand was very good, but we obviously we saw your hand was full the whole time. We're like, oh, he's got a grip, not realizing that those.
Yeah, Arid Mesa.
And what did you beat the first 2 rounds?
I beat Bant and Rocks, Warmonk, Knights, Angel. Not the Mythic deck though.